Hi guys, good evening. It's Rob back for end of year video. I've seen a few of these. Obviously, have been uploaded, and they're quite interesting. Obviously, people showing favorite records, grabs that they've had throughout the year, and yeah, I thought I'd jump on this and just obviously got me thinking about some of the highlights of my finds for this year. So yeah, before I get into that, just like to say Happy New Year to those in the Southern Hemisphere. Obviously, you're already celebrating the new year, and it is 2021 where you are. Obviously, we've got a few hours here to go. And yeah, so but I'm obviously it's all everybody's pretty much in lockdown. This tier 4 here in the UK, so very low key. Obviously, don't usually go anywhere anyway New Year's Eve, so it tends to be a bit of a low key event for us and our family anyway. So, but yeah, you can hear the fireworks flashing away and banging away outside. So, plenty of people celebrating, and yeah, good riddance to a bad, absolutely atrocious year, basically. So let's hope for better things to come in 2021. Okay, so yeah, so this is just going to be. I'm just going to run through these quite quickly because I don't want this video to go on too long. None of these are new, or let's say they're new. They were bought new. Some of them are reissues, but none of them are contemporary releases from this year. So even though I have bought a handful of albums that are new but released there, none of them are certainly in my highlights or my favorites for what I picked up this year. So anyway, so yeah, without further ado, I'll just run through these. Nothing particularly spectacular in here, guys. Probably nothing that you haven't either, or you don't already own yourselves or not seen before. So one or two of them are scarce. I was absolutely delighted though to get, and yeah, so let's go through it. Okay, so the first one, really pleased. Been looking for this for a number of years. This was a lovely copy of the Bee Gees' Odessa. So this is their 1969 double album. This was a American US press, and it's a white label promo, which is nice. So yeah, obviously sort of a bit of a concept album, this one, for those unfamiliar with it. But yeah, lovely sort of orchestrations on there. Some sort of fabulous acoustic songs as well. Really great songs. Excellent early Bee Gees album. So yeah, and it's got a flock cover as well. So which I believe they stopped because people were getting in the factory were getting allergic reactions to it. So, but yeah, so that was that's kicking off. Obviously, really happy with that one. Okay, so changing it up. This is a psych folk band who originated not a million miles away from here in Leamington Spa. And Alan Static Traveller turned me onto this band, and I saw him show one of their albums about 18 months, 2 years ago, something like that. And this, never seen any of their albums in the wild, which is how I tend to acquire most of my records, as you know. So I don't really buy anything online. So, but yeah, this turned up back in the summer, and was delighted to get this. This is a late 80s compilation by Dando Shaft. Fabulous band. I believe they only actually recorded 3 studio albums back in the day, and this is a compilation of the latter 2 albums, which were from their RCA Victor days. It was fantastic. Very sort of incredibly accomplished musicians, mandolin, fiddle player, female vocal, wonderful female vocal. Very sort of traditional, but with a heavy psych twist. If you've not heard Dando Shaft, well worth getting hold of some of their material. I believe the albums have been reissued, and yeah, I've been recommended those, so sure I will pick those up at some stage. But yeah, so Dando Shaft, wonderful stuff. Okay, obviously I'm a big Scott Walker fan, and was delighted to acquire his first 2 albums, solo albums, obviously after the Walker Brothers split up. This is Scott and Scott 2, both from 1967, I believe. So yeah, just absolutely fabulous. Some self-penned songs on here, as well as kind of brilliant interpretations and imaginings of Jack Brel songs like Amsterdam, My Death, just fantastic. Montague Terrace, superb. Just, yeah, Scott Walker, what can you say? He's just magnificent vocalist, and yeah, love his stuff. So hopefully in 21 I can pick up volumes 3 and 4. So wonderful stuff. Okay, yeah, so obviously 2020 was also the year that I was very influenced by and inspired by Robert Soundstrange, Scherf, and a lot of guys that were talking about the Blue Note jazz. Really enjoying the videos that everybody, was quite a few, were putting up, and this ongoing Blue Note series. So yeah, really happy to pick up some Blue Note jazz, but also other jazz titles as well. These are just a few of the favourites that I picked up. This was one that I hadn't seen shown, but I heard about, and was in a collection that Ben got in, and this is the wonderful reissue of Dusk Fire by Don Rendell in Carr Quintet. It's 1966 recording. Yeah, UK jazz outfit, fantastic. Everybody who's into jazz knows about this record and how great it is. Yeah, it's just certainly, I mean, I haven't heard that much jazz, but it seems like a unique album, the feel of it. Particularly love the song Spooks, which is the last track on side 1. Just wonderful atmosphere, and does exactly what it says. It's quite haunting. Yeah, so wonderful. Really happy to pick up. That's a reissue of Dusk Fire by Don Rendell in Carr Quintet. Okay, another jazz album that I picked up, and yeah, when Ben said he had this, I streamed it. Absolutely love this album, and I've just played this probably a dozen times at least since I've had it. Really enjoying this. This is Oliver Nelson and the Blues and the Abstract Truth. Yeah, so I featured this fairly recently on a video, so I won't go into too much about this. But yeah, this is a reissue on Impulse. Not sure when this was recorded. I think early 60s. But yeah, it's just wonderful, wonderful atmospheres on this. Really tuneful, very melodic. First side, particularly Stolen Moments and Hoedown, really, really enjoy off this. Yeah, fabulous, fabulous record. Really pleased to pick up a reissue of that. Okay, so sticking with the jazz, really, really pleased to get this. This is a record I've been looking for a while. I'd seen quite a few people have it on the VC, and I was really, really jealous because I just never seen a copy. This isn't an original, but I think it's a very early pressing on Verve. This is Getz Gilberto, and that's Stan Getz and João Gilberto. And yeah, just superb, absolute classic on Verve. Obviously with the girl from Ipanema on it, and doesn't really need any other embellishing, because it's just a classic album. Wonderful vocals of Astrid, João's wife, who stepped into the box, and because I believe the producer wanted them to sing some English on this, and obviously João couldn't speak any English, so his wife stepped up to the microphone because she could and sung, and obviously the rest was history. So fabulous stuff. Yeah, and then I also a little later picked up the sequel, I guess, which is a live record. So this is Getz and Gilberto again, and this is Getz Gilberto 2. So it's an album of two sides. You've got Stan Getz side, which is really, really good. But for me, the killer is the second side, which is the João Gilberto side with the just amazing guitar playing. Just, yeah, fantastic, sublime. Really, really good, lovely recording. Yeah, and that's live at Carnegie Hall. That was from 1964. Really pleased with that one. Delighted to get this because I didn't have any Dusty Springfield on vinyl, only on CD and compilations. So really, really nice to get a studio album of Dusty's. Yeah. Saw Dale at Gatefold 33 do an excellent video on Dusty Springfield and a sort of discography. This was one of the ones that he showed. Yeah, I listened to this, streamed it, and thought this was an amazing album. Really, really wonderful. Just really upbeat, fantastic melodies. Bringing back Don't Let Me Lose This Dream. The first two just fantastic. Sunny, of course, great track. And then some sort of ballads, They Long to Be Close to You, on side 2. But yeah, she's just in fabulous voice on this record, and just that sort of glorious late 60s production. You can't go wrong with this. Fantastic stuff. Really enjoyed that one. Okay, next one was unexpected, actually, but this was one that I was actually asked to clean, and there was this and another album which Ben had actually got in for a customer, but he was concerned about the condition of it, so he asked me to clean them up on my machine, which I duly did, and yeah, and they cleaned up really well and sound pretty good. A little bit of surface noise, but nothing major. And yeah, so this was well, my favourite of the two was this one. This is Bridget St. John and Songs for the Gentleman. This is an original on Dandelion from 1971. Yeah, so John Peel's label. Love that gatefold, just dreamy pictures. Bridget's got this lovely textured cover as well. Yeah, beautiful Dandelion label. Really, really pleased to get this. As I say, wasn't expecting it, but was delighted when I was he actually let me have it, and I actually got this for £25, which is what he paid for it. So I believe this goes for considerably more than that. So yeah, really, really happy to pick that one up. Okay. Yeah, another couple of wonderful reissues by Del Shannon as well. Did a click and collect on these with Ben during lockdown. Really, really pleased with these. So we've got this is Further Adventures of Charles Westover, which of course is Del Shannon's real name. This is a reissue of his psychedelic album from 1967, I believe. Absolutely wonderful. It's got the fantastic song Gemini on it. Just wonderful, wonderful, spacious kind of 60s heavy reverb production. Wonderful, wonderful songs. Yeah, absolutely love this one. Really pleased to get that. And then soon after that, he also got this in, which was an album that he recorded back in the day in 1967, but wasn't released, I believe, until 1978, over 10 years later. And this is And the Music Plays On. So obviously this is a different cover to how it was originally released, I believe. Produced by Andrew Loog Oldham from the Stones fame. And this is probably even better than Charles Further Adventures of Charles Westover. Absolutely superb. He does a updated version as well of his big hit Runaway, called Runaway 67, which is great. Yeah, this is sort of Baroque in places. Beautiful orchestration. Wonderful. Opens with a fantastic song, It's My Feeling, which was should have been a huge hit, really, but I don't think was. Yeah. So, yeah, well worth checking those out if you haven't heard them or got them. Okay, these last three probably my favourite of the year. My favourites. Really, really pleased with all these. Big Harry Nilsson fan, and managed to scoop this one. This is his 1969 album Harry. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, this is hands down, I think, my favourite Nilsson album. There's just not a weak song on this record. So this is 1969. This has the puppy song. It's Mother Nature, wonderful version of Mother Nature's Son with a kind of 3-part harmony. One of those rare occurrences where a Beatles covers, in my opinion, is actually better than the original. Fantastic. Yeah, he always did interpret Lennon McCartney songs, I think, really, really well. And then, Morning Glory Stories, wonderful. Rainmaker, and then a version of Simon Smith and the Amazing Dancing Bear to end with. So, yeah, really, really fantastic record. Okay, yeah, this one was just sublime, absolutely wonderful. Got this one back in the summer. This is quite a rare one on the Nepantha label. This is Robin Lent, and this is Scarecrow's Journey. So this is a kind of psych pop folk record from 1971. So yeah, Robin Lent was actually American originally. His parents moved to Europe when he was younger, and he was in the. I believe he played he was one of the singers in the Dutch production of Hair back in the late '60s, and the house band there were members of the band that became Focus, and they're actually playing on this album. So the musicianship is just second to none. Wonderful, wonderful songs. There's not a bad song on this. He's got this beautiful, rich voice. Yeah, just superb. There's very little online about this guy, so you have to trust me when I say this is really seriously worth your time. If you've not heard it, it's very, very good. Yeah, probably in my top. I say definitely my top 2-3 pickups of this year. Really pleased to get that. Okay, and then probably my number 1 album pickup for this year. This is an album that I heard several years ago, and as a Roy Harper fan, I couldn't believe that I'd never actually heard this record and overlooked it. So I heard his first album, Sophisticated Beggar, and Folk Joke Opus, but this was the one that came in between. And yeah, absolutely delighted to pick this up. This is Come Out Fighting Genghis Smith, and this is a UK first pressing with the original CBS inner from 1967. And yeah, this is just amazing record. Obviously, quite a few of you, I'm sure, are familiar with Roy Harper. I guess this was probably the nearest that he ever came to doing a kind of pop record as such. I guess particularly as the production was Shel Talmy as well. Really pleased to get this. Just superb record. He never really did another album like this. This is kind of a unique record in his catalogue. Folk Joke Opus is quite different to this. The album that came out after this. But yeah, I mean, he just wasn't playing the game at all, was Roy Harper. He never has done. He was. I think they were pushing for a single, and the single that he actually presented was the song "Circle" off this, which is sort of 11 minutes. So clearly taking the PI55 there. But yeah, I mean, obviously this was fairly expensive because it's an original, but it has been repressed in various other covers as well. And yeah, I would heartily recommend giving this one a listen. So that's it, guys. So that's those are my highlights for 2020. Hopefully, when we're eventually out of lockdown and we can go back to the shops again, I might be lucky enough to find a few more. Obviously, desperate to go to record fairs as well. Really miss those, as I'm sure we all do. Yeah, anyway, just like to say thank you to everyone who's supported my channel this year. This is obviously my first year in the VC of making videos. Everybody's been really welcoming, both in the UK, US, Canada, everywhere basically. That's what I love about the community, is that it's such an eclectic mix of people with tastes, opinions and knowledge, etc. It's just it's a never-ending, fascinating journey, yeah, long may it continue. So yeah, all the best to everybody out there. Have a wonderful new year. if you're celebrating. And I'll see you in 2021. Cheers then, guys. All the best. Take care. Bye bye.